Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Dream Lifestyles. I'm super excited for our guest today, Michelle Peck. She is an experienced real estate agent in the Lake Norman area, located in North Carolina. And I'm so happy to have you here, Michelle. Welcome.
Well, thank you. I'm super excited to be here. There's nothing I'd rather talk about other than Lake Norman and the homes on Lake Norman. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and so you've been doing real estate for a long time. As many of you guys know, I'm newer to the Lake Norman area. I've been here about a year and a half now, and I'm from Connecticut, and I moved here because of the lake and the lifestyle. And you've been selling the lifestyle for a while, so tell me a little bit about what that's been like for you.
Um, you know, what started off as hey, I'd love to run real estate, sell real estate, to ended up with wow, I absolutely love what I get to do here. Love this market in this area. My husband actually, I tell people they dropped us off here. He dropped us off 10 years ago. Um, because he was retired military, and I finally got to get my license as a military spouse retiring, and was amazed with the opportunity that we had to live on Lake Norman. So we moved to Mooresville, started selling real estate here, and have just really loved growing my relationship with the community. I now moved up to Troutman, so keeping on the lake side. That's what I specialize on. But able to still enjoy uh, multiple communities and get to know the communities one on one as not only as an agent, but also, living the life here.
Yeah, for sure. What do you think makes Lake Norman so special?
I mean, it is really unique. We get to be so close to Charlotte and have what Charlotte has to offer between the sports, theater. Like Charlotte offers everything you want in a larger city, but we pull back to Lake, we get more of that small town community. We get the Lake living experience. And just really get to pull that together with the Southern charm that we have in North Carolina. And I think that resonates with everybody across the country, which is why we have so many people moving here.
Mhm.
And they feel that relaxed environment, the fun they get to have, and just that lifestyle that people are looking for. In I mean, we have all levels of affordability on the lake. I showed one today that touched water that was under 500,000, to multi-million dollars. So we kind of resonate with all different levels of people who are looking to have that lake lifestyle.
Yeah, I love that. And that's the reason why we moved here was the proximity to Charlotte, the proximity to an international airport. Everything is close by, but you have the beauty and sort of the serene lake lifestyle, which is what we were seeking, and that's what brought us to the area. I find that there's a lot of transplants here. There's a lot of people from all over, which is fun, especially for real estate. A lot of people moving to the area. What do you find mostly with your clients? Are you finding that you're seeing move up buyers? I mean, still we obviously have first time home buyers, but are you seeing a lot of people relocating to the area more than anything? What exactly are you finding?
So I think one of the great unique things about the market here is we do have so many big corporations that have headquarters here, from Lowe's Hardware to MSC, Corian. So like these companies bring in those executives as they're moving through their business, that helps us also grow and bring that market, those people into the market. So that's a huge influx that we get with that. In addition, again, the sports world, we bring in the people that are always changing those teams and players and things like that.
NASCAR.
NASCAR and now soccer.
Mhm.
So we've got every single major sport here. So that brings that excitement. And as their fans hear about it, those kind of fans that just want to be near that kind of environment too. So that brings in that, not to mention beautiful for mild seasons,
Mhm.
that we all love 4 seasons, but we don't always want the 6 foot of snow.
One of the things I absolutely love here is the weather. I thought this winter was fantastic. My first winter here in North Carolina. One thing I really notice here is that we don't have a lot of gray days, which is so
Huge.
big for me. Like that was one of the biggest things for me. I love the weather. It's blue skies every day for the most part. It's certainly not those gray days that I was used to back up north. And I love the lake lifestyle. We're out on the boat all the time. We moved here for the water sports and for the lake specifically. And, that has just been it's like we're living on vacation. it really is like we're living on vacation. And we've met so many wonderful people. And, you and I've got to meet and do some collaborations with real estate. And we both just moved to a new company called Energy Realty. So I'm excited to talk a little bit about that. You specifically, it is a cloud-based brokerage, but you do have a gorgeous office in Mooresville. So tell me a little bit about that and what it was like for you to transition from originally owning your own brokerage.
One of the reasons that I did transition from running my own brokerage is I do. I had a boutique brokerage here in Mooresville. I love my office space. I consider myself an office dweller. And I think a lot of high volume agents do like going to the office and dividing that space. So I love the fact that I have that opportunity for agents to have. At the same time, because there's not a lot of activity in the office, I wanted to be involved with something bigger and more too. I wanted to have that culture outside of just this small space and get to know other agents that weren't looking to, be involved in the office environment all the time, like you. Like you don't have to be in the office to be successful. I like that I have that offer. If you need to have it, it's here. Or if that's just your style. But what I'm looking for and what drew me to energy was the culture. I wanted to still be part of a family, and still be able to refer people across the country and know I've got people there that have my back and have that same energy and love for real estate because that's what drives us through. Because the reality is, we do a lot of work. It's not a 9 to 5 job by any means. And it takes a lot of flexibility. So we've got to have that support, not just technology wise, which is amazing. I'm so amazed with the technology over there. I'm just such a little geek about it. But also about, like I'm having a tough day and I know I can rely on, people outside of my office to talk to and collaborate with and, understand the business together and work together as a team, not just the small little unit. And that's huge to me. I'm looking for that bigger family to be a part of.
Yeah, I love that. And, a lot of the people that moved over, because this is a newer brokerage built by the same former CEO of EXP and CMO of Real. CMO, COO. Sometimes I get them mixed up, but they were both involved in taking both EXP and Real public, Aaron and Peter Noble. And that is a really, really strong team that we have behind this brokerage. This is not a new concept. This is a proven concept by people that have done it before twice.
That's part of what excited me is that here we had leadership that knew what they were doing, have built those businesses, but wanted to do more of the boutique feel also and build that culture. And that was so exciting to me to be able to be a part of that. And early on, too, that I felt like I could establish those relationships for me and for my team. And like then we could grow together and feel like you're part of that growth and not just a number, 7,892. I like the fact that we're in early to be able to build that and be part of that.
Yeah, I love that too. I'd actually been looking for that for a long time. I'm so glad that we found that. And, we're making a splash here in the local Lake Norman area. Summer's here, basically, it feels like for sure. We're talking waterfront listings. We're talking people that are relocating while their kids are out of school. So I anticipate that it's going to be a busy summer. We actually have some really exciting collaborations as well. I work very closely with a couple of the boat dealerships in the area, and we are looking to collaborate with them with waterfront listings. So if you are a seller and you are thinking of putting your home on the market, we've got two very experienced realtors right here. I have 23 years of experience in real estate. Michelle is very experienced as well. And we've got companies that are willing to bring their boat up to your dock if you have a dock and offer boat rides at like a broker's open, and really just be able to be there to help show the property from the water and experience the lake. I will tell you, when we moved here, we obviously didn't have our boat with us the first time that we came to look. And we just happened to get an invite from one of these dealerships in the area. Specifically, I work with Charlotte Ski Boats and Wake and Water, both in Mooresville. And to be able to go out on the lake and see the lake for the first time from the water just from somebody that was willing to take us out was huge in us making a decision of where we wanted to be, how the lake was laid out, the difference between kind of the south end of the lake and more of like the Mooresville side of the lake. So that was huge for us. So we're able to offer that to our clients. And even if you don't have a waterfront home, that's okay. If your house is near the water, that's okay. We're able to get one of the boat dealerships to potentially take you out for a tour, and they will collaborate with us on the sale of your home. They will also market it and put it out there so that you are getting maximum exposure. So that's something that I can bring to the table with my boat life background. So,
which is awesome. We have a lot of communities that aren't lakefront, but they have lake access,
right.
boat slips, or close to marinas and things like that. Knowing those neighborhoods are important for us to be able to take care of our clients, and knowing how they can get their boat there or where to get their boat from is even more important.
Yeah.
Because there's no sense having a lake life if you don't have a boat to enjoy it, right?
Absolutely. And, if you're moving your boat from far away, like we were, we towed it from Connecticut all the way down here. We needed a place. We're in an HOA. We are not allowed to drop our boat in our driveway. And we did it for like literally a day before the moving truck was coming, and we got yelled at. And
Mm-hmm.
so somebody said, maybe somebody said something, maybe the HOA police drives by. I have no idea. But we had a dealership that we had already established a relationship with that allowed us to store our boat there while we just unloaded our things and moved into our house. And the boat, obviously, we went to handle that a week or two later. But again, you want to know where your boat slip's going to be. You want to know what it's like pulling out of like a little inlet or a little cove. It depends on what kind of boat you have. Those are important questions for people that
Sure.
are moving for the lake. So I think having these relationships with these boat dealers that have offered to collaborate with us in such a way, I think is really important, especially if you're moving here for the lake, especially if you have a boat, and what kind of boat you have depends on the depth and so many other factors. So that's a great partnership that we've made with those dealerships, and we're just excited to implement it. So I can't wait to find some new sellers that are looking to cross market with some of the boat dealers we have in the area.
Well, I'm super excited. I'd love to be able to bring some clients to those listings also and let them see what works for that neighborhood. Is it a pontoon? Is it a wake boat? Depending on the water depth, because we have depth that goes up to 150 feet deep. And then we have some that are so shallow that you can only use a pontoon. So being able to collaborate with the boat dealership as far as what's the right boat for that home too. What boat is the right style and what style is the right for your lifestyle? Do you want to do tubing or do you want to wake boat in? Those require, I think, was it 4 or 6 feet of depth, so we got to know that also. And we need to make sure that our clients can find the right people to work with to get their lake style and like living that they're looking for.
Yeah. And, for us too, it was like, where do we drop our trailer after our boat was in the water? We had to make several phone calls, and the prices were all over the place. And that wasn't something that we could sit on. It wasn't going to fit in our garage, and we couldn't keep it in our driveway. And dealers are going to charge you more than maybe a storage facility. So we were able to put it at the sister of the yacht club that we belong to, the sister dealership. But that's another question. And when you're moving, there's so many moving parts. Those are things that you don't think of sometimes when you're packing up your old home in whatever state you're coming from. And just from myself being here and meeting other people in the wake surf world and the wakeboarding world that have wake boats, they had the same problem. They towed their boat from Colorado, they towed their boat from Ohio, wherever they moved. And those are some things that you sometimes don't think of. So these are things that we can help our clients that are moving here for the lake life kind of get ahead of the game when they're selling or when they're buying down here.
Well, and what a great privilege to your clients, because not only do you know the system, you live the system.
Mhm.
And I think that's one of the reasons why I was successful starting off later in life, was that I understood as a military spouse what it was like to move 100 times, all right, 26 times in our career. Because then I could attribute that experience to my clients, and living on the lake, knowing those experiences, and being able to steer your clients to, before you get here, let's talk about this. Do you already have a boat? Are you looking for a boat? Okay, great. So we need to make sure the right property for your boat, if that's important. Or what are we going to do when you get it here, and how do we navigate that?
Yeah.
So those are things that people really need to make sure that they're dealing with the right experienced agents like us to make sure that we can navigate them correctly and make that move as smooth and stress-free as possible. It's always going to have stress, but how much stress can we take off of their hands?
For sure, for sure. Yeah, those are some great points to think about. We thought of everything, but again, we were used to storing our trailer next to our house in Connecticut and we had 2 acres of land, it didn't matter. Here, you can't do that. You just can't plop your trailer in your driveway. So depending on, whether you're in an HOA or whatnot, most of the neighborhoods around here are an HOA. And I
Hmm.
wasn't used to that. I wasn't coming from a place where that was the norm. So there's a lot of things that you need to kind of just redirect how you live. And even like the waterfront restaurants, how do you get there? Do they have a dock? What does it look like when you pull up? I mean, those were all the things that we had to learn because you don't want to, there's a certain restaurant that we go to and we know where to park because one side, your boats get slammed by the waves every time. And you're watching your boat rocking back and forth, slamming against the dock, no matter how many bumpers you have out. Where if you park just around the side, there's another dock over there that protects it a little bit more because there's a buffer. So there's all of these like little things like where you can't pull up, like, certain restaurants, you can't pull up to the restaurant at all. You need to have a pontoon boat.
Hmm.
That's it. So these are all the things I learned from other people and talking to people like yourself and people that have been on the lake for a while. And it's just really helpful to have people that love the lake as much as people that are moving here that have been through the experience in different ways and that are experienced in general with real estate, between gosh, I don't even know how many years of real estate, like 35 years between the two of us or something. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a lot of experience. So if anybody's looking to move to the lake area, if you're local and you're looking to maybe do a move up, maybe you're looking to downsize, we're here to help you with all of those things. If you are connecting on Michelle's page, reach out to her. If you're connecting on my page, reach out to me. There might be some cross collaboration there as well between the two of us. So you might get two of us. Whatever works for you. People work with who they know, like, and trust, and we'd love to help you. And yeah, there's a lot of development going on here. There's a lot of building, and we're seeing a lot of new construction. And I feel like the area is growing probably faster than it maybe has at all in the past. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, we're still seeing some really strong growth. The market has slowed down a little bit. It's taken a little longer to sell those homes. But to me, I like that on the buy side because I work predominantly with buyers, and I really like the fact that they have more of a choice and it's a little less stressful in making that decision. It's not make a decision now because there's three more people behind us and they probably already have their offers written. So we're not dealing with that anymore. We get a little more time to make sure it's the right choice. And I enjoy that. I think it's healthier for all of us, honestly, on both sides of the market. And it promotes a better relationship for us agents also. We collaborate more together, we work together more. And that's one of the things that I really enjoy working with Energy is that we have that collaboration that we can help each other out too and take care of our clients in a better manner. So, as far as agents go, also, if you're out there looking for a new home, we'd love to talk to you about, and I know Dana, you're a superstar at talking to agents about the benefits of the company and how that resonates down on a level of an agent individually. And I like running teams, so I like to pull that team side of it together and bring that together also with Energy too. So we have that opportunity to help each other out also.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you are an agent and you're watching this or you're listening to this, there are so many opportunities here at Energy Realty, both on a local level and a national level. We are going to be in every state. We are in I think we're in about 10 states now, but we're
Mhm.
opening more. We plan to be in 15 by the end of um, the year, and we're just moving full speed ahead. And if you're an agent looking for a change, if you're local, you've got an office that you can go into with Michelle here. You also have a potential team. If you feel like you need to be on a team and you need some guidance and some help, and perhaps maybe somebody a little bit more experienced to guide you, you've got a possibility there with Michelle and her team. So that's always a great option. If you just want to utilize the office space, I know Michelle doesn't shy away from letting people into the office. So you do have that brick and mortar ability to go into an office, even though we are a cloud-based brokerage. So we're local to the area, but we also work with agents all over the country. We just brought in, I brought in, the some Colorado agents, some Texas agents, Connecticut. I brought in the Connecticut broker. So if you're an agent that's looking to grow revenue share, passive income, and contribute to a stock portfolio that is going to be, I feel, very lucrative before we go public, talk to us. Reach out to us, and we're more than happy to talk to you. So Happy to help all buyers, sellers, investors out there. Anybody with their financing needs, reach out to us. And yeah, I'm just excited for the summer, and I'm excited for the upcoming market.
Absolutely. It's going to be a great summer.
I agree. And I really want to thank Michelle for joining us here on our Dream Lifestyles podcast. I'm really excited that we're working together, and especially in such a beautiful area where I just can't say enough good things about it. So thank you again, Michelle, for being a guest on the podcast today. And I hope everybody has a wonderful day.
Thank you. It's a privilege to be here. I, as always, love collaborating with you.
All right. Bye bye, everyone.